Without roads, our cars would not know where their next destination would be. But wait a minute, let me add that many of the roads haven't exactly aged well, and most of them weren't exactly that safe. I guess a madman would be able to willingly drive down on all the dangerous roads in the world. Here are the most dangerous roads in the world. 10. Atlantic Ocean Road. The Atlantic Road, known as Norway's Atlanterhavsveien, this road extends just a bit over 5 miles and is known as the most scenic and amazing route one could imagine. Along the Atlantic Road, there are various panoramic views and some rest areas that are facilitated with bold architectural forms, and at this road, you can experience both architecture and nature in great interaction. If you're up for conquering your fear of strong mist, then this road would help out. But don't travel this road in severe weather conditions, as it's been considered as the most dangerous road because of the blizzards, unpredictable snowstorms. Driving in such severe conditions can be extremely challenging, and the road is constantly battered with gusts of wind and water. It also connects the island of Everøy with the mainland. Along the Norwegian coast, it also has an open sea view that is not common for the roads. In fact, some people believe that a road could be built across the archipelago because the distance between the islands is so small. On that road, you'll find a series of fishing spots, 4 viewpoints, plenty of restaurants, and also get a free car wash. 9. The Commonwealth Avenue, the Philippines. The Commonwealth Avenue, which is known as the Killer Highway of the Philippines, is asphalt and located in the heart of Quezon City, a city that is famous as one of the Southeast Asian countries' cultural, commercial, and political centers. An exception to the rule, is considered as one of the most dangerous roads in the world. Because of the extremely heavy traffic on this road, it has seen thousands of accidents happen amongst pedestrians, cyclists, and motor vehicles that led to their deaths each year due to the terrible non-existent regulations and enforcement of traffic laws. It is called to be the widest road in the Philippines as it is 12.4 kilometers long and spans from 6 to 18 lanes. In the past, it was known as Don Mariano Marcos Avenue. There's one more thing that Commonwealth Avenue has: no streetlights, and there's a conspicuous absence of road signs and designated motorcycle-bicycle lanes. So if you're up to taking this road as fun, then be aware of all the obstacles coming your way. 8. James Dalton Highway, Alaska. Alaska is known for having some of the coldest roads on the planet, and the Dalton Highway is one of the loneliest roads in the world. I assure you that if you can drive this most extreme road, a trip to America's last remaining wilderness, then you can drive anything. It is referred to as the Dalton Highway because its construction was supervised by the Alaskan-born engineer James Dalton and was originally built in 1974 for the Trans-Alaska Pipeline System as a supply route. Here comes a question: why is it considered dangerous? Well, because driving on this farthest north road just creates real risks and challenges, as this highway is essentially seen as a gravel road reduced to zero visibility, enormous potholes, and extreme Arctic weather to contend with. Well, proper planning is necessary to be on this road, as services are only available on a few spots, and there are no public services even though there are just 3 towns on the way that have a population of 60 people. The speed limit of the Dalton Highway is 50 miles per hour, and SUV, all-wheel drive, and high-clearance cars are only considered ideal for driving on it, as the road is extremely primitive in places, and small cars and motorbikes wreck, resulting in sustained injuries. In fact, if you're on this road and you want to connect with your loved ones, then this road is a big no, as there is no smartphone coverage even within the Brook Range. Satellite phones do not work. 7. Gulang Tunnel Road. The literal English meaning of this Gulang Tunnel Road is a road that tolerates no mistakes. Well, for your knowledge, in 1972, a group of villagers that was led by Shen Mingxing had plans to carve a road into the side of the mountain to help the villagers access the outside world. And all those men sold their own livestock just to buy tools and materials. Let me add that 13 local villagers in the Taihang Mountains have built this road, and many people have died while constructing it. This deadliest road measures only 1.2 kilometers long. It is 16 feet high, and it is 13 feet wide. And if you want to enjoy the insane views of the Chinese landscape, then there are 30 windows that were cut out of the cliff for this purpose. This road can only be driven through some of the careful passing oncoming cars, as itself is only that much wide. It is quite fearsome that the road was built on the path of least resistance, and all those scary turns and dips in the unpredictable places, The tunnel twists and some slippery blind spots of bend can make any driver white-knuckled in terror. The creation of the Gulang residence has now become quite the tourist attraction, and now this road has been used in one of the film locations. 6. The Karakoram, Pakistan. Well, our next pick is the Karakoram Highway, which is known as the highest paved road around the whole world. It is also considered as the deadliest and the scariest road in the world because it's 1,300 kilometers long. Its construction took a long period of 27 years, from 1959 to 1986. The Karakoram claimed to be close to 900 lives during its construction on the path of the original Silk Route. Well, among those workers, there were Pakistani and around 80 people belonged to China. This road has severe heights, steep cliffs, and hairpin turns. The Karakoram does face bad weather considering the path it takes that leads to the dangerous landslides, heavy snowfall, and avalanches, and sometimes all of these things block this route for days. On the other hand, the portion of this road that leads to Kunjarab Pass is quite challenging as it only has a little bit of space for a single vehicle to pass through a rough rock face, and on the other side, a sheer drop at one end. Driving on this road should not be attempted by the local and novice drivers, and before traversing the route, vehicles should be reasonably equipped to handle surprise emergencies. 5. Highway of Death, Iraq. What a scary name, right? This highway is a 6-lane highway that is between the Iraqi city of Basra along the border town of Safwan and the Kuwait city. This highway of death is basically known as Highway 80, and this road is asphalt. It was used during the invasion of Kuwait by Iraqi forces and was repaired after the Persian Gulf War. In the attack, which occurred just days before the war ended, 300 to 10,000 people were dead, and from 1,800 to 2,700 vehicles were totally destroyed, and most of the vehicles were abandoned by the time they were struck. In fact, there are some recognizable scenes of destruction of war on the roads. During the war, a group of Iraqi tanks and armored vehicles, as well as civilian trucks, cars, and buses that had been taken by military forces were bombed by coalition aircraft. It is stated that many Iraqi roads among this one are dangerous as they are littered with IEDs, improvised explosive devices that are usually used to detect the American troops and their allies. 4. Death Road, Bolivia. Because of all the reasons you'd guess, this North Yungas Road is known as Death Road. Some say that for driving up or down this 69-kilometer switchback, well, it's extremely dangerous due to cascades, landslides, fog, and cliffs that drop 610 meters at every turn. It's no surprise that it got the nickname, as this road seldom gets any wider than 3 meters. Since the 1990s, the scariness of this route has made it a famous tourist destination. In addition, enthusiasts of mountain biking use this road for its exquisite landscapes and its groomed slopes. In the 1930s, during the Chaco War with Brazil, Paraguayan prisoners cut the road. It connected to the town of Coroico and Bolivia's capital, La Paz. Before moderately rising to 1,190 meters, Yungas Road climbs from La Paz to around 4,650 meters. It is also surrounded by mountainous terrain, and it is long enough to connect the Amazon rainforest to the capital city. North Yungas Road was the single option for traveling from La Paz to Coroico until 2006. Finally, in 2009, the government built a new route by a mountain range close by. This new road has 2 lanes and has been well maintained. North Yungas itself also has new pavement, guardrails, drainage systems, and 2 driving lanes. People still continue to meet their ends here. 3. Sichuan-Tibet Highway. The Sichuan-Tibet Highway is known as the world's craziest road, with an average elevation of 4,000 meters. The common place of this road across the 1,330-mile route starts in Chengdu, Sichuan, and ends in Lhasa. Tibet has landslides and rock avalanches. To take a trip along this route can take 15 days, and along this majestic route, there are 14 mountains, dozens of forests, and rivers. Once a bus was reported to have veered off the highway in 2011, and this tragic incident took lives of 16 passengers. There's an unbelievable mortality rate just for one road to make a record of 7,500 deaths per 100,000 riders. Because of the frequent numbers of rock slides, the death toll has risen, and on the other hand, because of the weather-related hazards, if you're stuck here for once, you can be stuck for God knows how many days. So be aware. And now let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. This image was sent to us by a subscriber. Similarly, if you ever wish to know more about an image you come across, just send it to us. Who knows, we might even feature it in one of our videos. Well, this is a Photoshop picture, but for you guys, we've researched so hard, we get the idea behind it. As we know that there are many bridges that pass over the ocean just like the Atlantic Ocean we've discussed in the beginning. But, however, a road with no pillars and supports doesn't seem real to us. But don't get disheartened, as humans have achieved so much so this might not be too far away. 1. Old Zigzag Road. Actually, it's a gateway between northern Quezon and the south of Philippines. It is famous as one of the most dangerous roads in the country. Many drivers even fear traveling by this route as it may be an adventure for some, but it does carry surprises of risk. It is also known as Bitukan Manok because natives believe that this road has a similar structure to chicken's intestines. If someone understands Filipino, they can guess that the name itself indicates how dangerous the path is. And if you have acrophobia, then don't ever look outside of your car and be sober while driving, as losing control of the steering and panicking will result in falling from this big height. This route is quite narrow, and due to the congested nature of this road, sometimes drivers might need to stop and allow other people to pass through. When it is raining, the danger level of this road gets even higher, as it can get slippery. At night, drivers are afraid of going through this road, as the locals believe that anyone who drives by this road will face paranormal activity in this area. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do share this video with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon in order to not miss any of the upcoming videos.